Good evening, everyone. At MTI, our mission is to increase mobility for all and by improving the safety, efficiency, accessibility, and convenience of our nation's transportation system through research, education, workforce development, and technology transfer. We help create a connected world. Transportation agencies nationwide face a shortage of workers due to issues in recruitment and retention, coupled with an aging workforce. To sufficiently develop the future of the industry, agencies must excite younger generations about becoming future industry professionals. To that end, MTI hosts the Garrett Morgan Sustainable Transportation Competition, which gives students a sneak peek at exciting careers. Why this competition, you may ask? Well, Garrett Morgan, who despite his humble beginnings as the son of slaves, recognized the importance of education, ideation, and entrepreneurship. Among his many accomplishments, he developed the three-way traffic signal and the first gas mask. It is after this driven individual for whom the program is named.
So since each team needs a team lead, we'd like you to know that you're not doing this alone. You will have ongoing support from a dedicated staff, professional mentors from the transportation industry, and a digital teacher guide at no cost to you. If you're an educator, we hope that the $500 teacher honorarium and the $50 material stipend will help with your classroom budget and your professional growth, and your school might benefit from receiving awards such as the National Blue Ribbon Awards also. If you're a parent or a community member, the benefits will include a positive impact you will make on the youth in your community. So if you're a student, the best time to start your college and career exploration is now. This competition will foster group collaboration and teamwork, build your self-confidence, and help you develop leadership skills and social skills. You will receive a certificate of participation to add to your portfolio for your scholarship and college applications. Perhaps working with a professional mentor could lead to unique career networking opportunities and future internships. We also hope that when we give you meaningful real-world problems to solve, it will lead you to discover your passion, and at the same time, you will have fun collaborating with other like-minded students. So we have sponsored this national STEAM competition every year since 2001, and over 1,300 students have participated. If you're a middle school teacher, club advisor, parent, or program counselor, we invite you to register a team of 3 or more students and make a video of your bright idea or invention and win prizes. So before we share our best tips and practices, I'd like to go over the process with you to see if there are any questions. So the first step is to register your team. And since there are only 17 spots left and it's a first come, first serve basis, please do so by September 24th of this year. Step 2 is to review the prompt and the rubric with your team members. Explore possible solutions, whether it's a new technology, apps, partnerships, inventive programs, campaigns, etc. And then consult with a mentor if needed. If you'd like, we can connect you with a guest speaker virtually. Step 3 is to submit your project entry form and photo release by February 24th next year. Step 4 is to develop your project, choose your presenters, practice, record, and edit your presentation. And the last step is to submit your video and program survey by March 24 of next year. Preferred formats are YouTube, Google Video, MOV, MP4, and tune in for the virtual awarding ceremony in May. The first place winning team will be recognized at our annual awards banquet in June. So we know that educators and parents have busy schedules and many commitments, so we encourage you to take advantage of the available resources and ongoing support from us. So I'd like to share the rubric now to see if you have any questions. And feel free to unmute yourself or type in the chat as well. There will be 3 judges, and the total will be 130 points. So please save these important dates on your calendar. I will also send you reminders as well. If you'd like to take a picture of this screen, you're welcome to. And now I'd like to invite Alvarina to share her best tips and practices about this competition.
Yeah, before I start with the best practice, there is a question from Namita. Does a teacher need to be registered with a group of students, or can it be a parent? So with this competition, we are open to a team led by educator or a staff from an organization, or it could also be led by a parent. The only difference here is when an educator is leading the team, actively mentoring and helping with the submission, the educator will get a $500 honorarium at the completion from MTI. This does not apply to a parent volunteer. And I would like to share 2 best tips and practices. I would say that I would encourage the students, mentors, educators to use our free resources like the teacher's guide. While the teacher's guide may not directly address the current theme, the lessons and activities will help introduce students to basic transportation principles. And this is one way educators leading a bigger group or even a class can get everyone involved. The guide itself was designed to conform to California Common Core and Next Generation Science Standards. So you could take the lessons and apply it to your classroom without losing lesson time. And if you are participating as a class, I would suggest that you start early. Class can be divided into smaller groups so that they could explore different transportation solutions. And then collectively, you could, this big team can choose the best project to present. This practice encourages students to be creative and to advocate for their own ideas.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Bachu, our first place winners team lead for the last 2 years, to share his experience and best tips.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. Can you hear me? I'm just trying to check the audio, or audibility here.
Yes, you're perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk here. Thank you so much for Susan and Alvarina. I'm one of the parent volunteers, not trying to take the whole credit here, right? All the hard work is done by the team as well as the program coordinators, such as Susan and Alvarina. Thank you so much for putting up a stellar program here for the kids, for the next generation enthusiasts of the transportation industry. So we got into this not knowing that we will be contenders for the winning team or something like that, right? So just the idea alone, the program itself, let alone actually inspired the 2 students and the teachers, just because it aligns with the curriculum, the Common Core curriculum, as well as the other side things. But usually our kids team went through the first Lego robotics from the first program as well. Then also they were also part of the Boy Scouts program, where the new invention of the merit badges scheming system around the Supernova and the Nova Awards as a merit badges. So that was in general motivation that we started with. Then we got into the sustainability transportation idea, got through because we were doing one of the innovation projects back when first time when we participated 2 years ago. Originally, we prepared for a first Lego robotics competition as an innovation idea. That year, that happened to be a transportation as a topic of our innovation project. Then we ended up doing the outreach as a normal outreach, right? So we ended up reaching out to the Caltrans, which is the state's, California State's Transportation Division. They heard our idea and everything. They said, hey, are you aware of this program called Garrett Morgan Sustainability Program? You should compete there as well. So then we requested them, can you pass all the details? Then that's how actually we got into this. And we found out the rubric system, which is already put up there for counselors and the parents. That itself is a self-explanatory. And that was a guardrails that we wanted to begin with. Not to get bogged down into the rubric system only, but the meat of the possibility in this is the idea and how we present and the actual project itself. So while the rubric system helped us doing the guiding principle as a guardrails, but we were also able to refine our idea that was presented for an innovation project for first Lego robotics. We geared that, tailored it to the sustainability topic into the Garrett Morgan. And guess what? We went through all the cycles of this, the selection process and all the guiding principles and everything. And, we inch by inch and step by step, we bagged the national final award recipients as well. And the way the award was presented, it was blown away. The kids who are not even enthusiasts for the transportation, suddenly the kids have become a transportation savvy people. The way they picked up the idea for the first project, I want to give you that as well. Sorry, I don't know how much time I got, Susan, here, another few minutes, or am I talking too much? Okay. So I'll finish up in another 1 or 2 minutes here, sorry. So we were stuck in a traffic in Florida. That was one of the hurricane days. All the parents went there for a Key West and all that. So then we're rushing back home and to catch a flight. One side of the freeway was completely blocked. Another side of the freeway is completely empty. So the kids in the car, they thought of, why the other side of the lanes are not utilized. Let the traffic utilize those lanes and plan to go north rather than the southbound lanes are empty. So that idea, that practical problem that they experienced has actually led into our idea and the problem recovery. And that is what we presented, how to lane shift, all that. So that was our first year idea that has bagged the award. And the second year, we re-participated in this, and as a refinement of the idea, and the couple of other opportunities came out of that idea as well. And we competed again next year. And guess what? Thankfully, the rubric system and the motivation, the kids got motivated on the first year, consecutive year. Thankfully, we got a national award as well, final recipient award for the second time as well. And kudos to the kids and the other parents, volunteers. This is a very intense program. It's not an easy task from the parent and counselor side and the kids who are participating in this. It's not just a PowerPoint, not just a recording of the PowerPoint. It's most of the heart and the mind. You want to walk to the talk. Okay, that's the level of inception actually has to be instilled into the kids' brains, right? There's a lot of responsibility for as a parent, counselors and the teachers and volunteers goes into this. Kids always get frustrated. They want to walk away and they want to drop. And that is where we sit down and help them and have them to see the big picture and utilize the sources from Alvarina and Susan. They are here to help us out and mentor and expose us to other practitioners. Other mentors are available through this channel and the program. We utilized every single possible synergies that is possible through this program. And that has actually made us to be successful in this. So with that, I think actually I'll shut my mouth, I guess, and back to you, Susan and Alvarina. Bye now.
Well, thank you so much, I mean, you covered it all completely. And I think it's as real world of its experience that it can be is when in the engineering world, when a project doesn't go right, they have to try new things and they keep at it and it's very gratifying to see the end result. And I know that your videos are on the website as well, in case you guys want to check it out. And then if we have Anurag here, he is our third place winner for the 2023 competition. And we'd like to have you share your tips with us as well.
Hey, hello everyone. Me and my son, we participated first time in last year. I'm not sure how accidentally we end up into finding about, which is basically it talks about some work for you and Suzanne and Elvirina to advertise it more. I had no clue, which and there is school. My son's school has no idea this thing existed. At least we talked to people, and so we tried to find the teachers. Teachers were not. They were pretty busy because this is like last minute. We figured it out for 4 weeks or 5 weeks before the time. Like the registration was closing in a week time kind of thing. So I think we reached out to Alvirina, said, "Yeah, please go ahead. You can register and we can move on." And I requested that I don't have any teacher I cannot find, but I can guide my son and we can work together. So that was accepted last year, and I think it is this year too. Except that sure, parents doesn't get money; they don't need money. The teachers do definitely, schools and teachers. So, but it was a really amazing experience. We fortunate enough we got third prize. My son worked really hard. He read all over the world's different parking systems, the different crossroads. He wanted to talk about how to reduce the fatalities in the crosswalks and crossroads for bikers and walkers. And he read some statistics and he said, "Okay, let's talk about maybe we can come up with some ideas." And he read from Switzerland, what happens in UK, what happens in other places. And then he built his whole thesis around it. Okay, here is the proposal we should do, and this is what the changes we should do, and how to reduce the traffic overall in the city or deep areas of the city. So it was really amazing experience. We means I myself learned a lot through his efforts. So this means things which I did not even hear in that sense. Like you see and it's okay. Like a light exists, we'll pass every day, but we don't pay attention. Now we pay attention. Oh, that's why this walkway is designed and it's helping. Or this walkway is designed in a wrong way and it's going to hurt somebody. So we start paying that attention now, which is means I think that's the value of education, right? You do something and it sticks to you forever. That, so yeah, please, kids should participate. It's kids' event. They work really hard, and like I think Om was saying that they do get discouraged at some point, and you just nudge them again a little bit. Things move.
Thank you, Anurag. So I've been visiting the schools and passing out flyers and sending email. And if there are educators that you feel I should reach out to, please let me know as well, because we do have many schools across the country and we'd like to have as many know about the program as well. And so now the moment we've been waiting for, the reveal of the 2024 Garrett Morgan competition prompt.
We have selected Vision Zero 2030 as our theme. Why Vision Zero 2030? More than 43,000 people die on the roads in the US each year, and millions more are injured. Conventional viewpoints have held that collisions are an inevitable consequence of modern roads. However, armed with the right strategies, we can stop this trend and bring this grim statistics down to zero. This is Vision Zero 2030, a commitment to stopping traffic-related deaths and injuries by the year 2030. Teams must choose one of the prompts and explore a solution that will bring your community closer to Vision Zero 2030. Each of these prompts address a different topic in transportation. We also included 3 articles for each to help the teams get started on thinking about the problem more in depth before formulating solutions. So we'll go through the questions one by one. The first one is related to technology. What technological innovation could make roads safer and make transportation more sustainable? What would this innovation look like? Drone-based traffic enforcement, automated traffic cameras, self-driving cars? What would it cost to create and implement? How would that help roads become safer while also making transportation more sustainable? Choose one technology and explain how they contribute to both sustainable transportation and Vision Zero, the implications of using this technology, and how to implement it. The second one is related to urban planning. Imagine you are in charge of designing roads in your town. How can we improve the role of urban planning and infrastructure design to create safer roads? Provide 1 to 2 specific examples of how changes in road design can enhance safety. Consider materials and technology that would also contribute to reduce the impact of transportation on climate change. The third one is focusing on safety and sustainability. Explore the intersection of safety and sustainability. If more people use more sustainable transportation options, would there be fewer traffic injuries and deaths? If more people walk and bike and use public transit, how can we keep them safe? How do we encourage more people to walk and bike? Propose a plan to 1, promote sustainable transportation options, like a plan to get your community walking to school. And 2, how this plan fits in with Vision Zero. And the last one is related to safe streets and roads for all. Imagine you're in charge of $5 billion for the Safe Streets and Roads for All project. How can you spend it to make transportation both safer and better for the planet? Devise a specific project for how to share and use the funds to meet Vision Zero goals and also lower the pollution from transportation.
So I'm super excited that there's a prompt for everyone and for each community that we're in. And I look forward to hearing about your solutions as well. And so this will be the Q&A session in case you would like to go over the questions in the chat, Alvarina, or if is anyone here that'd like to unmute themselves to ask before we close?
I think there was one question about the registration deadline. Yes, just to clarify, we are still accepting applications, and the deadline is October 24th. But if you are sure that you want to compete, register early so you could get started early.
And you don't have to have the prompt chosen or anything yet. In order to register a team, we just need this student's name, at least 3 of them, who will be leading the team, right?
We only need the school's name and who will be leading the team. If a teacher were to register, then it will be the teacher leading the team. Then we'll reach out and confirm everything. But the students' names and the project itself will be due later. That would be February 24th. That's the Garrett Morgan project entry form and photo release form.
Okay.
That's when we need the students' names, and for the photo release forms, obviously it will be the legal guardian's responsibility to fill them out, and that's when all of the students' names need to be included.
Now, can you please repeat one more time that you said that on October 24th, you don't need student names, or you do need student names?
No, we only need the school's name or the organizations or just the teacher, the main contact person. Doesn't have to be a student.
I see.
If you click on the registration link, it'll probably have all the information there for you.
Okay.
There was a question about the Boy Scout merit badge. If Alma's still here, maybe he could help us answer that question. This is from Priya. Can you please elaborate on the Boy Scout merit badge? My child is participating through his Boy Scout troop.
So, you're still here.
Yeah, so it has to be sponsored through, the communication has to go through your troop or a council. and the MTA, there's a letter has to come to MTA, either to Susan or Alvarina. And we are actually in the middle of finishing up that bridge as well. So MTI is already offered that as part of the Boy Scouts, but the council has to make sure the validation. End of the day, merit badges are issued by the Scouts system, and they need a validation from the MTI that your kids have participated. We don't know yet the final program, how the validation will happen from the MTI side. I think questions back to you, Susan and Alvarina, but only the winning team get the merit badges, or participation team with the rubric qualification, let's say out of 150 points, at least the minimum of 100 or 75 who qualify to that level, at least they will take away the recognition for the merit badges, responses, all those things. But in our case, we have a different criteria, right? So we are already more than 100 points because of the final award recipient winners. So assuming that, we will have the equivalent recognition and the credits from the MTI. And I already spoke to our council members and the Boy Scouts, and they already supported, they looked up all the content and the rubric system and the selection process. It has to be endorsed on both ends, right? So I did the hard work on the Golden Gate Area Council Boy Scouts. I just received a letter last week, and I'm really happy to send the same letter and recognition equivalents to the other parent here in the meeting. Please reach out to Alvarina or Susan, and I'll be able to connect the same thing, all the homework that I've done, so that way you guys do the same homework on your side.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, And then I will see Mai Dang has her hands raised as well.
Hi, I'm asking this question as a teacher. You mentioned that I can just register the school and not identify the students when I register by the deadline. Is it possible or for me to have two separate teams? So I guess I would also ask and Anurag that was it that much work? I'm just wondering what possibilities my students have.
Yeah, so in the past where we will allow multiple teams led by multiple teachers. For example, there are two teachers, then two teams could participate from one school. That's the maximum number of teams that could participate from one school if there are two teachers. But the teachers could also choose to participate as one big team. If you are the only teacher leading a team from that one school, what we would suggest is that you break your team into smaller groups where they work on different solutions, and then you choose the best one to submit.
But then it will be just one team, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes, there will just be one team participating.
Yeah, so I think what the rule Elverina is saying is that one teacher, one team.
Yes, one teacher, one team.
Okay.
But if you could find another colleague who would want to lead a second team, or who would want to collaborate with you, then we could have two different teams from one school.
And then every student who participate will receive a certificate of participation.
Yes, it's not just the representatives who are presenting in the video, but everyone who worked on the submission on the solution. It doesn't matter if it's not the solution that you end up choosing as the submission. We would still provide everyone a certificate of participation. We just need their names at the end of the day. You'll just supply us with all of their names.
So one
And
clarification. Sorry if somebody was asking. I'm sorry. One clarification, just if you guys can give, is you said $500 honorarium for the teacher. Is it only for the winners or for every team?
it's for the first 20 teachers that register. And the way it works is that we would give you the first $250 at when you register, and we will give you the remaining after the submission of the video. And I see there's a related question in the chat. If two teams from the same school, do both teachers get the honorarium? Yes. If you're leading two different teams, you'll get each person will get $500. And
This is
another
pretty decent money. MTIA is giving to teachers. Very nice.
And there was another question in the chat about the important dates. Susan, could we go back to that slide again?
Absolutely. I know Preeta had her hand up, but you might have answered her question already because I don't see her anymore. And you would like to see dates.
Yes.
So I have a follow-up question then.
Yes,
Yes.
So if I would choose then the team that would best represent our school, would the deadline for the selection of that team be before February 24th?
Yes, because by February 24th, then you will have to fill out the project entry, which tells us what solution in a few words, what solution you're proposing.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the clarification.
And we should have the links to all these forms in the chat for you, as well as the website Transweb. So that way you can see what information we need from you. Are there any more questions in the chat, Alvarina?
Yes. The registration is via Google form. Yes, that is a Google form. The same with the project entry and photo release, and as well as program exit survey. The only thing that you will submit via email is the video. It could be a file, Google Drive, or a YouTube link. And then
We have a raised hand from Preeta.
Hi, Alvarina and Susan. This was wonderful. The question I had was with respect to the industry mentors, right? So can you share who they would be? Because I think that can be so inspirational for the younger folks who want to really learn about transportation and think deeply about the prompts and how they would like to shape their solution.
Yeah. So we have at MTI, we have quite a few of research associates with expertise in different transportation topics. For sure, we have Dr. Bo Yang, who's an expert in drone and geographical information system. He would be available to mentor a team who's focusing on that type of solution for this theme. And he would also be available if another team wants to invite him for a guest speaker. We could try to coordinate that as well.
Thank you.
I think Om's mentor was from out of state, right? Or from Cal as well?
Om had a different mentor that was not from MTI, but we also, in the past, we also had a team who were exploring public transit and high-speed rail. And so we had a California High-Speed Rail Authority staff meet with the team. And I have a question in the chat. does it have to be a group of 3 students, or can it be more than 3? It could be more than 3. We're saying that the minimum, absolute minimum, it has to be 3 students in a team to participate.
There is a
And Lisa?
There's a maximum presenters also. They cannot be more than 7?
And 5, I believe. So if you have a big class, choose 5 of the best speaker, I would say, to present in the video. And this is just so that each student will have more time to speak instead of having 10 students talk for a few seconds only. And Lisa, you have a question?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. One was I was late to the meeting, so I missed, I guess, the important first 10 minutes. Is there a video to watch about the first 10 minutes?
Yes, this is recorded, and so everything will be, once it's ready, we will send the video and the slide deck to all registered email addresses.
And then, so our entry would be a video. How long does the video have to be?
7 to 10 minutes.
And according to the prompts, it looks like we can expand our interest, not just looking at road safety, but possibly mass transit issues to reduce increase safety.
Yes. There is a prompt, I believe it's number 3, that explored the intersection of safety and sustainability. If more people use more sustainable transportation options, like walking, biking, and using public transit, how would we keep them safe then? And when we encourage them to take this alternative transportation options, how would that look like for sustainability as well?
So that would be to encourage maybe a workplace to use more.
Yeah, or in this case, it could be a school with the Safe Routes to School program, or any other program that could encourage alternative. Should we go over a few more from the chat?
Yes, there isn't any more hands raised, so we would go back to the chat.
I think if the team is led by a parent, coach, or mentor, do the mentor get honorarium? This honorarium does not apply to parents. It's only for educators. And if you are a part of a after school program, for example, like Boys and Girls Club, then we would provide the honorarium to the staff leading the team. And there's another question about the industry expert. Will you assign the industry expert to teams, or teams will pick? It really depends on our research associates who have volunteered. If it happens that we have more than one, we could offer the options to the teams. But if we only have one, then we'll try to make it work with just this one expert for the team that choose that specific topic. Can videos be edited, or does it have to be a continuous video recording? It could be edited. If you look on our website, there are past compilations of the competitions. You'll see that some utilizes Zoom, where they present and they talk at the same time, and they do it multiple times and they edit it so that they pick the best take. You could do that, or you could also present and create a video demonstration where, if, for example, a part of your solution is a computer program, then you would have edited video of someone using the video program, using the computer program, and talking about the features.
And the A in STEAM is for the digital art that comes into play here. And so they're more than encouraged to come up with a team name, maybe a logo, and have fun with it on the digital art side too.
Yes, and they could also go to a location and take pictures and videos if they're trying to, for example, they want to show a real life condition. in an intersection by their school and want to try to focus on that as their project, yes, that could be included in the video. So we would encourage students to be creative and to showcase their project as best as they could.
If you come up with any other questions, feel free to email Alvarina and I as well.
Yes. There's one more question. Do they need to build a prototype? No, but we have had teams who choose to do so. And so a part of the video could be the process of them making it, like a collage of showing pictures of them in the process of making the prototype. And then another part of the video could be them testing the prototype.
So in closing, I'd like to share my favorite part about this competition, which is our participants' experience. And I also love what the students and the teachers said here. And it's why I do what I do. So I'd like to thank my co-host Alvarina and our guest speakers, Om and Anurag, for being here tonight. And we look forward to partnering with you and your students and hearing about your experience at the end of this competition as well. So please register your team soon due to the limited spots available. And the registration deadline is October 24th at 11:59 p.m. Thank you for investing your time to educate and engage your students, and best wishes for a very successful school year. Good night.